In this video, let's take a look at the Leadership Pipeline module. In the Leadership Pipeline module, you have a tool that can basically help you set up a leadership path for your people. Churches, nonprofits, businesses, and other organizations can use the Leadership Pipeline to help them develop a path for leadership for their people. And we're going to show you how to do that in this video. The first thing that you'll notice here is on the left-hand side, you have divisions, levels, reports, and performance goals. So before you can actually create a pipeline, you've got to establish a couple of things. So the way it's broken down is division, subdivision, level, and milestones. Division, subdivision, levels, and milestones. So let's take a look at each of those individually. Let's come here to divisions, and let's say you want to create a broad division. In the case of a church, for an example, or really in the case of a organization or even a company, you can add a division and you can call this division Human Resources. Okay, so we're going to create a division that's called Human Resources. This is broad, and we're going to see how you can add it to this division. So that's the first step. Now, the next step is to create a subdivision. So you look here at these columns and these rows, and you say, okay, here it is, Human Resources. Now, let's add a subdivision. So the first subdivision is going to be onboarding, and we'll create that subdivision. And we're going to add another subdivision, and that's going to be training and development. Training and development, and we have onboarding. So we're going to use two examples here. So now when we go back to divisions, we see Human Resources, and then we see 2 as the number of subdivisions. Now, after subdivisions, we create levels. So let's go to levels. And you're going to notice here that we already have different levels that we've created. For an example, if we look at level 1, this is a leadership level. Let's just go to the edit within the action column and see what it says. So under leadership level 1, you have the basic function. You can create that as we've already created, or you can cancel to go back. So let's say, for an example, you want to create an additional level. And let's call that HR Level 1 Mastery. Okay, we'll create that. And then let's create another one called HR Level 2 Mastery. And again, we're creating these in pairs just to help us later on. So here we have HR Level 1 Mastery, and then Level 2. Now, we've started with, again, divisions. Then to the divisions, we added subdivisions. Now we're at levels. We've added these 2 levels for our example, HR Level 1 Mastery, HR Level 2 Mastery. And now we're going to add milestones. So again, division, subdivision, level, and milestones. So let's add milestones to Level 1 Mastery. So the first milestone is going to be, for an example, let's call this TCP course. 95% completion. And the target date is going to be June 12th. So we create this. Now, once we create this milestone is what the person you assign the pipeline to is going to have to create, or not create, but rather complete with a 95% completion rate before they can complete the level. Now, let's say you want to add a second milestone to this first section. You can add here community outreach project 1. That can be another one. This can be simple volunteer, orientation, and then that target date, you can set it and June 19th. You create that. So again, you have 2 milestones. And here's the idea. In order for the person, let's go back to levels. In order for this person to complete level 1 mastery, they have 2 milestones. And what are those milestones? Well, we can look at the milestones here and see that the milestones are 95% completion on the TCP course and volunteer orientation on the community outreach project. So again, let's just review quickly, and then we're going to go to how you can create it. So first, we came to divisions. We added a division called Human Resources. To that division, we added 2 subdivisions, onboarding, training and development. And then we moved down to levels. Levels, we added 2 levels, although we only completed 1, which was HR Level 1 Mastery. And then we created 2 milestones under HR Level 1 Mastery, which is the TCP course and Community Outreach Project. Now, these are the basics to setting it up. And again, at any point, you can delete these, edit these. You can go back to levels, and you can come here to the second one and say, okay, I want to add some milestones to this second level. For an example, it could be the ROT exam. You can create a note, 90% completion rate. You can set a target date later on, the 3rd. And then in this particular case, you only have 1 milestone. So now let's go back so you can see how everything works together. So we click on Leadership Pipelines. Now we say, let's create a pipeline. So now that we've established the levels, the milestones and everything, let's see how this works. Okay, so we're going to call this New Hire Phase 1. It's going to be an initial phase offered to new hires to help them navigate through community basics and training essentials. Okay, we have a short description. Now here you can add a group if you'd like to. It can be any one of the groups that you have within your database. All you do is you click on the group there, or you could just delete it to remove it. Now, the next thing you can do is you can add individuals. So I'm going to add myself here as a user, and I'm going to add myself here as an admin. Now, why is that important? Well, there's 2 things here. Number one, when you add a person as a user, when they log into their profile within the software and they go to My Leadership, they will be able to see their progress. They'll be able to see what has been assigned to them. Now, as an admin, you will be able to go in and update the progress, and you can give access to the user as well to update the progress. So let's say, for an example, you want to notify the user that you've assigned them to a leadership pipeline. All you have to do is click here, email notification, and an email will go out as soon as you save and continue. Secondly, you can mark here text notification, and they will get a text message once everything is saved. Okay, in this case, we're not going to send them a notification, but I just want you to know this is available. So now comes the point of going back to everything that we just did. So let's come here and we add a division. So now here you see select a division, and we're going to go to Human Resources. It asks select levels, and we're going to select Level 1 Mastery. Now we have that set up, and we can click on Save and Continue. So basically, once you do that, notice what happens. You see here the pipeline information, the description, the division, the level, the milestones, and then you can come here and add any subdivisions that you would like. Okay, so you can click on Onboarding, and that can be the subdivision that you add, and then you can click on Submit, and then this will be connected to their profile. And basically, once they have completed the assessment in this case, or the community outreach project, then you can go back into their profile and you can basically check it. So here you can see you've successfully added a new pipeline. Now let's go back to one thing I said earlier. So I'm going to click on, let's imagine a person logging in and they see the dashboard. This is the first thing that they see. And then they come here below on the left-hand menu and they click on My Leadership. Okay. Now, once they click on My Leadership, what they're going to see is the following. They're going to see the different leadership pipelines that have been created. Okay, here's the one that we just created. New hire phase 1. We have a short description. We have the created date, the updated date. And again, as an admin, I'm logged in, you're able to edit this information. So you can come here and you can click on milestones, and then you can see as an admin, once this person completes one of these milestones, let's say they completed 95% completion on their exam. So you can click here and you can click on the date of completion, for an example, click on update, and then that will update the information. Now let's just go back here for just a minute so you can see something. Again, we have the new hire phase 1 and we're here in milestones. Now, if you want to click here on subdivision, then you can see the subdivisions, or you can add subdivisions as well if you'd like to do that. Click on update, and now you can add the other subdivision. Okay, so that's very, very helpful. Now, again, once you click on a completion date and you click on update, they'll be notified and it'll show up here as completed. Okay, now let's go back again for just a minute. And again, I'm under the admin login credentials, so that's why you're seeing a little bit more information. Let's go back out here, and then let's go out one more. And in this time, let's click on progress. Progress. So here again, you see the 95% completion, no, the division, etc. Now we're on the milestones part, but the progress. So I'm going to come here and I can view progress. Once you click on view, it'll take you to a different screen, and then you can see the progress of the user. So we're a little backed up right now, but you'll see this is going to appear in just a minute, and then you can see the progress of the user, and then you can make additional annotations. So let's say, for an example, again, you imagine you're watching or viewing this user here, and you say, you know what, they've completed it. We put the final completion date on the previous screen like we showed you, and then you can say, you know what, they're done. So this milestone is completed, and now they can advance to the next level. And this is what you will see on their user profile. And again, they can see as completed, so they'll know when you've gone in as an administrator and marked this. So again, the main thing that we've reviewed here in this module is how to create a leadership pipeline and how to successfully come and edit a pipeline. You can delete the pipeline, obviously. And we said we started with divisions, then we went to subdivisions. After that, we created levels, then we created milestones. And once we have completed all that, then we can go to reports, and then we can get reports on our leadership pipeline. So once you have all that information, you can export it to Excel, you can export it to PDF, and then the next module you can take a look at, which really falls in line with this one, is performance goals. So go ahead and click on the left-hand tab to performance goals, and then you'll be able to click on the tooltip on the right-hand side and look at this video for your performance goals. So thank you for being a part of this video and understanding how to create, edit leadership pipelines.